February 2013, must be having too much drinks, went up to give a speech at the Global Space Technology Conference. That was the first time we announced that we will strive to send a first Singaporean to cross the Armstrong Line into the frontier of space. My name is Lim Seng. Today is the 9th year already. We still want to pursue that dream of ours. The nearest word I can think of is my calling. We believe that space is already here. I'm really just the boy next door, but thankfully given a lot of opportunity. I did a Master in Physics and a Mathematics degree, and then later on went on to do a Master of Electronics Engineering. The government thinks that I'm still not clever enough, so give me one more scholarship, and I did a Master of Computer Engineering from the US. I came back and I was asked to work in the Ministry of Defense. General Wesley, who was then the Defense Secretary, was very kind to me, really. He gave me many opportunities, having spent more than 15 years with the government. I went to Airbus Group, very fortunate again, given the opportunity. It all started during my Airbus days when we were trying to do a hypersonic space plane demonstrator launch test in the South China Sea from Singapore. So there we would need to carry this 1-ton hypersonic space plane demonstrator up into the high altitude, and it was there that we got the notion of using stratospheric balloon. So there we are. Looking at that, I tell myself, hey, maybe we can do this within our own resources, our modest means, with the will and the commitment. As I always say, if you can conceptualize it, you can think through it, you can therefore code it, and you only need to dare to do it. We are set here in this spot is because this is where all is started, and you can see that the whiteboard behind me, where we have the skimpish scratching of the outline of the space capsule. It is here that I sat down with my team of 6 that we go through the fundamentals. All the writings behind me or the drawings is really the scripture of in the cave, of what the thinking process goes through. We launched after the February 2013. We commissioned 3 different designs of the pressurized Wonderman capsule from 3 different countries. And that was 6 months later. And then we see the cutting of the metal. 12 months later, we went back to the conference with 26 volunteers selected from 150 pilots. So 2018, May 15, I remember very well. Everything was ready. On that day, the wind at high atmosphere was, I remember, 124 knots, which is about 200 over kilometers per hour, which all responsible person will have to abort the flight. So that was what we did. Very painful, very expensive, but we abort the flight. To be fair to us, we have been monitoring this for the past few years here at the same spot at the same time, and it's the best time to launch. We came here and this happened.
The team totally understand. Though a little bit disappointed, they didn't actually give up what they're doing.
Technically, I think we should be proud of ourselves, and I want to applaud the whole team. 2019, 1 year later, 31st of May, 6 a.m. we took off and we crossed the Mount Everest at 8.5 kilometers, about 25,000 feet in 19 minutes, ascending at a rate of 7 meters per second. So now we are, after COVID, we are back, and now we are trying to do a 2-man capsule. This time, if we persevere and fly again, will be the 4th attempt, and hopefully we will do Singapore proud. Yeah. And I think we should redefine the word failure. Every failure to me is actually a data test point. I am maybe anxious to look for failure because you better fail early before we go out there and do the real thing with a man inside. in the early days when we started this, you see, we see that the capsule keep falling off the ground because we were following some 50-year ops format. But we must not just follow. You have to question and keep the process of improvement all the time. In our next flight, it will not fall off because we will be launching it from the ground for the first time, and nobody has done that before. We admit that it is difficult, but it's something that we wanted to do for the country. As they always say, it is not where you visit, but who you visit with. So in this vein, I must say that Singapore has hope. We meet a lot of really beautiful people. So I think this is the most precious take back. I think sometimes we are too meticulous in our thinking. Nothing bad, but we tend to analyze and analyze and analyze. But one day we have to cross the line, not to show other people, but rather to show ourselves, our fellow citizens, Singaporeans, that we from a tiny country can also dare to dream. I really hope that in the mainstream we should always insert why not. If we don't do it, who will do it, you know?